Welcome in. Welcome to a new series called Hardware How to. Start from getting a suggestion. Someone wanted to see topic today, how I'm using the LaunchControl MPC Live 2. I'm gonna go through what I got so far and make it a little tutorial too, for those of you who may not be so to program using the Live 2 for new MPCs. Guys, if you guys do have ideas, if you like the game series, please give it a thumbs up. I'm bringing tutorials back. It's a minute since I've done tutorial type of content, and I'm just more interested in a thumbs up right now. And then also, if you have some ideas, some suggestions, I put a YouTube post up. You can drop it there, or you can drop it in the comment section, or I guess here live in the chat. So shout out to Zounds. They always got my back. And let's get right into it. I've got the LaunchControl XL here, and then I've got my MPC Live 2. And this is really kind of perfect because for me, I keep things really simple. And my template, it all starts with a template. So everything that you're going to do when it comes to like a MIDI controller is you're going to have to save it into a template. So you want to do this from like a blank starting point, right? You could have some samples in there, like me. I do have a drum kit, or at least like a program that has certain things set up. So that's not specific to this, but if you're programming MIDI controllers, you're gonna have to have it in a template so that that information is saved, and then you can recall it. So there's a couple of ways that you can recall it. There's actually, you can do up to 2 templates in the Live or in the MPCs. And one way is to save that. You save the project as, and you just find a place for it. I would put it in a folder called template. That's what I do. And then you would just click this little checkbox that says save as template. So that's one way of going about it. But then also there is, if you want to have 2 templates, what you could do is menu, preferences, and then you go to project defaults or project load save. And then there's a user auto load project. So you just got to navigate right here. If you set that first, because you have options, it could be empty. So like when you boot it up, you'll see 2 little buttons on the touchscreen. And then one is new project, and then the other is user template. So this will be the new project one, and then you can select the new project behavior. It could be an empty project, factory project, or in this case, user auto load project. And then you just go ahead and navigate where that is, and mine is LCXL temp, and I've got that saved there. So that's cool because it gives you 2 options. I'm not sure when this was implemented, but it used to be, at least to my knowledge, it was only you could only use 1 user template, but this is like a way around that, so you get up to 2 templates if you want. Yeah, so that's to begin with. Just remember that if you're new to this, you're saving everything in a template, because if you don't recall that, then all that MIDI programming will not be there. All right, so like I was saying, the way I work is very simple. I only have 8 tracks, 8, I guess, a combination of drum tracks and audio tracks. Now my first 4 tracks, I've got a chops on my first track. So that's going to be like my sample chop, right? And then I've got a drum track, then I've got a bass track, and then I've got a melody track. Okay, and then my next 4 are all my vocals: vox, melody, hook, verse, and vox overdubs. So currently I'm on, well, not currently, what you're hearing me through is actually one of the audio tracks that I have on here, and it's the vox melody, and I've programmed that, so that's track 5 for this blue button right here. When I press it, it'll mute out my audio track and it'll be real quiet. See, so I can just mute that out very easy, and I have that set for all of my audio tracks. All right, and then for everything else pretty much too as well, the bottom row is my mutes. So I got drums here, mute, and I got, of course, the faders. The rest of what I'm kind of doing here is just using it as a standard mixer, so you know, but I have this set for all my drums, right? But I did go about it a little bit differently, and I'll explain why when it comes to these 4 tracks. So my audio tracks are I program everything on the audio track itself, but for my chops, my drums, my bass, and my melody, they're actually going to a submix. So if I were to see, when I mute this, you don't see it muted here on my drum track. It's because it's actually muting over here, as you see. And the reason I did that is because it's just more useful to have that, so that I can do everything at once. Well, one of the main reasons why I'm doing it that way is actually because let's see, let me go back to here, and then so I've loaded up, I sampled in this sample. This was a war sample, and I stemmed it out and kind of like this. So I'm gonna start here. I'm gonna try to build something too as I'm kind of explaining this, and work towards writing a song. Hopefully I can come up with something, but I won't like obsess too much about whether it's dope or not. But the reason why I'm pointing this out, the reason why I go to submixes for these first 4 tracks is because of this. So I might want to chop manually up here and work with my drums too, because I like to finger drum, but then I also have this chop track, so I can chop here. So now both of these are going to this first track, this submix, as well as like up here, the sample, right? So it's cool. You can split different pads to different tracks by sending them to different submixes, and as you can see, you can do that in the IO. So I have that pad 13 right there with a sample on sub 1. All right, so that's key. Now let me move over to my submix again so I can show you kind of what I'm doing here as well with some of the other stuff. So on effects, what I've done is I've set the air kill EQ. I put an air kill EQ on here, and then I've programmed for pretty much these first 4 tracks just a standard kind of mixer where it's lows, mids, and highs. So, and then also I've set this to like be a bypass. So turn it on and off. It's on. I get the highs out, mids, lows. So I really like the air kill EQ because I can cut everything out, right? All right, as you can see, it's all being affected there, and you can hear all that. So yeah, I've pretty much done the same thing with my drums, and I'm EQing them as a whole. Now, yeah, so that's basically, well, okay, when it comes to, I'll move over here to my audio tracks as well. So I have, I'll move over here to my audio tracks. So for my audio tracks, I did it a little bit different. And so if I go into effects, and you'll see what I have. Like, for example, I'm on my Vox Melody. That's where you're hearing me, my Vox Melody right now. I've put a channel strip and a compressor. So I believe I'm doing, check. Okay, so what I did is, for each of my audio tracks, I like to have some reverb and some hands-on control of that. So this is going through Ascend right here, and you can see on the audio track the send level going up. All right, and then on top of that, channel strip, I believe yeah, I've got, all I did right here was some low gain, so I can cut some lows out, you know. And then right here, I've programmed this middle knob to be my compressor output, so I can get some more gain there and get my vocal nice and loud. So that's just the difference of how I got the audio track set up versus everything else. And I am going to move on and show you guys how to program something, because I've just started this and I kind of been sleeping on adding more to the template. So one thing I want to do is create a vocal submix. So everything, all these audio tracks for my vocals are on their own individual tracks, but then I also want to put them into a submix. So I guess we can go ahead and do that. And what's dope about the LaunchControl, and even if you get like the older LaunchControl version, I had that one briefly, very useful because it compared to like the MIDI mix. The MIDI mix couldn't do this, the by Akai. This gives you modes. So essentially, these 8 tracks, since I've filled them up, I'm already using everything here, but they can be reused again up to 16 times. So if you hold mode and then press a new mode, so now it's on 2, that's actually not a hold, it's just a press, and that's how you select, and then make sure you turn it off. So now these can be reprogrammed again, so none of this is going to affect anything that's going on in here. So what I'll do is I'll move on to programming my submix stuff here for my vocals. If I want to do that, I go into menu, MIDI learn, and then I guess I'll zoom in here a bit. I want you to be able to see the LaunchControl as well. Okay, so there's you got that in the frame. Well, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see the screen a bit better. So in order to program something new, there's a plus sign here. And then you want to select your source. So what I'm doing is doing a submix. And then I've got the vocal submix. I'll just select that. Okay, and let's see what I want to do. Currently these are mutes, correct? What I'm going to do, I guess, is use the green button here and create a solo. And the reason why I'm putting things into I want to make a submix for my vocals is I'm trying to move into doing more automation. And that's actually why I got compelled to buy something like this, or well, actually it's on borrowed from Zound. Shout out to them once again. So yeah, this stream is sponsored by Zound, so they got to get their flowers. You guys know who these guys are. You know how that works. I'm an affiliate with them. So yeah, they sent over the LaunchControl because I was real interested in programming some stuff that I can automate. And this works great because these are also endless, and you could do automation from the Q links, but it's just a little bit trickier if you want to do that kind of thing and be like in a certain screen. This gives you the ability to be in whatever screen you need to be in. And then also I think another thing was, so what I was doing, I was automating some delays on vocals. You know, like I had my whole song done, song arranged, vocals and all that, and started messing around with delaying my vocals a little bit, just give it a little bit of sauce, a little flavor. But the way I'd have to go about that was to select one of these, and maybe I didn't dig very deep, and I think I will do a video on how to automate stuff just from the MPC or a stream or something, without having to need a piece like this. This goes beyond that, right? Because you're also mixing and stuff. But the one problem that I came across was when I was automating stuff, if I messed up on the automation, adding some delay, automating it in, and I didn't like it, I'd have to rewind. So not being in the same on this like Q-Link status where I can control the playhead. So the playhead was disabled because, or the playhead control is disabled because I was in a different Q-Link. I think it's one of these like sends, one of these menu options. So being that I have something external, now I'm going to be able to automate delays, ascend, whatever, and still be able to, like, if I mess it up, I don't like it, easily delete it and then move back on my timeline. Because I'm doing this automation on a whole song timeline. All right. Okay. So MIDI learn. Got my Vox bus target really quick. We'll go to mixer. And then I'm going to do, well, actually, that's one thing I'm tripping about. I don't know why there is no solo on Submix, so I guess I'm going to skip that. I'll just skip. I don't really see myself needing a mute for now, so maybe I'll automate some bypasses for some effects. I don't know. But I'll go ahead and just I'll do mixer, and then I'll do volume, so overall level for my whole vocal submix. Then learn, and it's as easy as just pushing that knob physically, or that slider, and now it should be, let's see, yeah, so now you can hear I have effect of my volume. And this is if I had multiple tracks, like I already had my hook and my melody, like usually do like a Vox melody, what I call it. It was just like a humming thing, and then my verses and all that. If I had that all recorded already, it would all be controllable here as a whole. So yeah, and then I'm gonna want to do another one. Same thing, source, submix, Vox bus. I'm gonna go to target, and then what am I gonna do? Mixer. And send one is my reverb, send two is my delay. So yeah, I'm gonna do delay, send two, press learn and twist that knob, and there we go. Go. There it is. Check. So like at the last stage of having my song complete, everything's pretty much mixed. I'm gonna go through, hit the automation, and then just like at random bits, just so you know, and I feel like that's a cool thing. So I'm just getting into automating some things to make my song sound more interesting. So thought that would be a good idea. Amongst other things, I probably want to, let's see, if I'm gonna go to my, let's go to my vocal bus. Let's see if I have effects on it. I want to put like a bus compressor on my vocal bus. So I have nothing on here so far. So let me go ahead and put a compressor. There, compressor. Turn that down a bit. I'll just do like 50% on here. Let's go light on this and my output. All right, so I'm just gonna set it to my output for the compressor on the vocal bus. And that's it. Just set that there. And now that I put the effect in there, if the only thing you'll see show up within here as your target is if it's something that exists on that track already, on that submix. So you'll be able to see all the inserts, like in the parameters of all the inserts. So let's go to submix, and we're going to vocal bus again, Vox bus, target, and then see now insert pops up now that I've added something, and then you have all the parameters of that insert available that you can program from a MIDI controller. So I will just do output, learn, and let's see which one I want to do. Yeah, I guess I'll just do this one here, and boom. So now on my compressor, and now I'll have, you can see the line going up on my output. You can hear it coming through a lot louder. So boom, there it is. Shoot. Okay. I think I did not follow my my actual outline of what I was doing because I wanted to chop some stuff and then kind of do that. But I got the tutorial out the way. And if there's anything else you guys want to see, go ahead, pop it in the what's it called, in the chat window. I'm gonna pull up the chat and then I'm gonna start just creating here. All right, let me pull up the chat window. Yeah, once again, if you guys like the series idea, please do give the stream a like, give it a thumbs up. And if you got ideas, come on through. Hawkeye on Seahawks, man, this one's for you. I appreciate the idea, man. You know, sparked a creative kind of concept. I've really kind of been geeking out about these concepts and creating these this artwork and stuff, and I'm having fun with it. So and I enjoy the I was gonna say camaraderie, the fellowship when it comes to this stuff. So let's see. Yeah, no doubt, man. I'm happy to do it. Be jamming. What is good? Son, what's good, man? What is good? Aaron Chandler, sup, homie? What's good? About to make a couple beats for a video. That's what's up. Yeah, man. I peeped your live 3 video a little bit. Shigito, what's good? What have you heard about the theory about the MPC Live 3 is the Force 2? What do you think about it? Actually, well, I was looking at it, and well, I don't think it's the Force 2. I think I think they're implementing. This is a prediction I had before, because I noticed I never use a Force, but I noticed that they're all on a firmware. Like the Force is on a MPC firmware, and now everything's like kind of coming together. So, but if you look at it, if you get a good look at the images that have been leaked so far, like on a step sequencer right there, I don't know if it's the step sequencer buttons at all exactly, or it's some buttons that are under it. They say clip launch on there. So I think the clip launch feature and everything is going to become one, and it's like all, you know, cohesive and all that. So yeah, I think they're bringing that workflow to the MPC, you know, so interesting. But I still feel like there'll be, my bad, I still feel like there'll be a new Force, hopefully. Yeah, and like I would love to see a small Force. A portable battery powered Force would be cool. Yeah, I think it was I think I actually saw that in a video that someone had suggested it. So he had pointed out, and I never thought of it. So, and I don't recall what his name is. I would shout him out if I could. And I was watching the video like on my TV, so I couldn't comment, but I was gonna comment. You know, really good job on that, figuring that out. Just working and not at the same time. We go on the 9 to 5. Ali Star, what is good? Yeah, so I mean, let's get to creating. We can chat. There's something I want to look at too. If you guys seen this, I don't know if y'all have seen this. I happen to see it. I don't know if I can find it on this phone. But Roland has some sort of big announcement tomorrow. I believe it's tomorrow. And I wonder what that could be. I think I saw it in a Reddit. Let's see if I can find something. But let me get to chopping. I think so. I don't know. Roland has not announced any new products. Let's see. Press releases. I seen it. I think I got a notification from the synthesizer Reddit. Let's see. Roland synthesizer Reddit. Let me just go to Reddit synthesizers. Let's see. Maybe I can search within here. So no one has seen this? Potentially a TR4. What's up, Vax? Yeah, here we go. Someone said possible TR. Okay. So is that like one of the smaller, like groove box type of things? TR. Here, I'll pull this up. This is what we got so far as this goes. Is this like a countdown? I'm not sure what that means. 84.31, and then it's switching .32.33. What is that? What am I looking at? Over 1,000. Tomorrow returns. So I don't know what it is or if I'll be interested in it, you know. But I did click the notify me to see what it is. There's audio. I don't know what the audio could be. Hold on a sec. Not sure what the audio is about. Well, that's all it is. Tomorrow. Does it mean tomorrow, or is that just like some kind of hint to what it is? I don't know. I'm not hearing any audio actually coming from this. But yeah, that's what it is. Any guesses? Anyone? So I really don't know anything about the TR devices. So I don't know if any of this, what they're showing up on the screen, but it kind of looks like, if you look at this guy standing here, like he has his hands on some sort of a groove box, doesn't it? What is the TR for? I'm not even sure. I'd be happier than a pig if Roland do something meaty. What does that look like? The chap in the pic looks familiar, huh? Yeah, no idea. Looks like the X-Men logo. I mean, I guess it looks like a speaker right there towards the bottom. I guess we'll see tomorrow. No idea. Okay, let's get to chopping this. See, nice and stemmy sounding. Let me chop it in here real quick. Let me do less chops. Let's just keep it sloppy. All right, and then I'll just go over here. Oops. Sorry, no, that's annoying. All right, there we go. What's my tempo at? 80.87. Let's try it. TC on. Whoops. I want to keep hitting that. Trying to do too much. Really? Yeah. Safety 404, what's good? Bobby, what's up, man? Bobby, is it Bobby? Is that how you pronounce it, Bobby? What's good? Appreciate it. Check, 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 1, 2. Check, 1, 2. Yeah. Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes, what up, some guy? It is possible to map the MIDI mix with the MPC one, yeah. But the MIDI mix won't give you, if you've been sitting around watching for a minute, MIDI mix doesn't give you mode, so you're gonna be stuck to being able to program just 8 tracks, just this combo one time, which would be fine for me. Like, I could figure it out. Like, you know, some of this is just bonus. Like, I decided to just put EQs on these, which I don't really think is necessary. Like, I might switch that up and do something else more useful to me. So yeah, honestly, to be able to do some of these things, I had the idea to get something compact, and I have a template that I use this with, which gives me a few cool things. Like, I just use these as mutes. Like, these are my vocal tracks. These are the other 4 tracks, and then I have like reverb and compression. Or I also had like set like a mother ducker threshold thing with that. So this is cool too, like, you know, kind of a what was I trying to say, like a non-conventional way of using a little drum pad like that. So yeah, definitely be done with a MIDI mix, man. I used to have a MIDI mix with that I use with the Live, the OG Live, and all these MPCs are running the same firmware. So have I tried it with the SP? Nah. I mean, I guess it could be done. But what you can actually program with the SP is kind of limited. I don't know if you've looked at the MIDI implementation chart. It's cool. Some of the things are cool that you can do, and I went over some of those things. I got a video that I'm putting out with this controller that I'm doing exactly that, and it's by Sonito. But Sonito is cool because you can do it all from the hardware. Now with this, I haven't looked in it. I think I'd have to plug this into a computer, and they have I think it's called components. So this, you would have to edit everything on a computer. Which I'm not like set up to actually do. I don't have a computer in front of me to do that. But I don't know if they have like an app for it, that would be really nice. I think if more of these companies, at the very least, Sonito is killing it because you can do it from the actual unit by just looking at the screen and navigating. But and then other company I was messing with, they sent me a keyboard, MVave. They make an app, so that's cool. If you get an MVave product, like the Bluetooth keyboards, you can actually edit them from your phone. I think more companies need to do that. Some of these bigger companies aren't doing stuff like that. These smaller, lesser known ones that some might consider cheap brands are doing more innovative stuff. I feel like why isn't there an app for most of these little MIDI controllers? You have to go on a computer, especially if it's like a little MIDI controller, and especially if it's like Bluetooth. You want something portable. You don't want to have to, I guess. I mean, I'm not in that mind state where I'm using a laptop, but I guess people do it that way too. But yeah, having dust right there. Having a portable option, I think, is more ideal. So I might look into it, but it is pretty limited. What you'd be able to do is control your MFX. So yeah, you could set like maybe these 6 knobs to MFX. That'd be cool. And then you could do. It just would be very unconventional. You can program the looper, MFX, and the input effects on the SP. What else? I don't know if there's much else that you can program with the SP. It's pretty limited. But yeah, what's up, some guy? Elias, what's good? You had asked me the question that about the SP Trader to the Living. What's up? 1 page only. Facts. I can work with it. Yeah, he could do some cool stuff with it. Using my SP as the brain. That's what's up, man. I really geek out when you say that because that's what I've been really geeked out about using my SP. Did I never turn that on? In actually making it my centerpiece. Yeah. What kind of things are you using it with? Like, what else do you have around it? I expect there will be a whole new range of MPC peripherals. You know, that's what I was thinking when I'm seeing this new MPC with all these buttons. I don't know if they're, you know, that's something I've been thinking about for a long time that they should have done, but I don't know. I don't think that they would. You're talking about MIDI controllers and stuff. If they made MIDI controllers that integrated really well with the MPC, I think that would be nice. But the reason I think that they won't is the reason why they have like different models, because they're all the same MPC pretty much, which is just different physical hardware, right? So the fact that I think that they have that is just a way of getting you interested in buying all of them, right? Versus if you gotta if they sold like a cheap MIDI controller that would give you the functionality of the MPC-X on your MPC-1, you probably wouldn't buy the MPC-X. It's all business. But I think it would be dope. Like my like nerdiest idea would be in the software for the sampler, put a turntable here, implement the browser so that you can load whole songs to the sampler, and then have a turntable that you can pull back on the touchscreen, and then also make a, see, this is one for the Dream Machines episode. Then have a MIDI controller, a USB little turntable that you can use. And then so essentially you could sample anything into the MPC. See, now we're thinking, because I've been wanting something like that. You know, they make a lot of DJ controllers with 2 decks for people that want to mix music and all that. I don't need all that. But if I had a MIDI controller and this had a little virtual turntable and I could load up, I could sample in my vocal and then chop it up, do some cuts, you know? Not that I even know how to do that. I've been wanting to get into doing that for years, so I can like chop up my vocal on a hook for my songs. Scar to Red Dawn, we should be able to record a whole album with the next MPC software update and then produce at the same damn time by now to put us MPC heads really in the game. I guess we're going to find out. How come you're not doing that already? You feel like the MPC isn't possible to make a full album? And does that differentiate from making like a whole song? Because I've got like coming up on the 14th song that I've done in standalone. Not that they're perfect, but that's just my skill level. Hey Nicole, hi baby. That's my wifey dropping in. I love you. A new MIDI mix would be cool though. Proper knobs at 0 to 10. Yeah. So like the endless knobs. Tell Zaytoven that you can't make a whole album in the MPC. Yeah, I don't know if you like talking about like mastering stuff. Or putting like the whole album in there and mastering it. I mean, I try to do my own masters and stuff, whatever. I mean, I don't really do much, but that's a whole nother skill, knowledge set. I got Micro Cork 2 and Yamaha MX49 as my synths. Oh, cool. That's a good little combo, man. Start messing with that MX49 inside the looper. That would be nice. Yeah, I would like if a company would put out like a nice little compact Rompler with sounds like if Yamaha made a smaller version of that. I would love that. Because I used to have that 49, and it's pretty compact, but I would like something like smaller, 37 or 25 keys, mini or large keys, to pair up with my SP. What else? Arturia Beats Pro as sequencers. I'm not sure what the Beats Pro is. Then I run my bass guitar into a pedal, then into a mixer, then into the SP. Cool. That sounds dope. Yeah, man, I love those Yamaha sounds. I think they're the best out of everything that I've used so far. But I'm hoping that Arturia puts out an Astrolab, like a mini. And I'm pretty hopeful that they do that, because I remember like months ago, like early this year, there was a leak. There was a leak information on that they're making a mini and an 88. And the 88, they eventually dropped that after the 61, like a few months ago. So I'm hopeful that that leak was accurate, and they'll make a small one, because I'm pretty eager to like try out some of that Arturia stuff, like the physical modeling, natural acoustic types of sounds, and like get that in a mini keyboard. I would jump on that, because I just love standalone devices like that. But also like another wish list thing would be a Yamaha motif, like the MX49 sounds, if they made that into a reface, those refaces, you've seen those that are like 37 or 32 keys. 37 key mini Osmos for MPE. Whoa, that would be hot. Do you have that, the Osmos? Is that a 49 or I think that's a 61 key? Scar says, I love the MPC Live 2. It's never a boring moment as long as I keep enough RAM to complete 25 songs. Other than that, everything comes right beside that. Let's see if it all pays off. Do you do like vocals and two when you say song? Are you 25 songs in one project? Is that what you're doing? I can't imagine. That would probably take a lot of RAM. But yeah, I don't even, as you guys see me display, like my stuff is really simple. I haven't even reached the limits of the RAM. So like I'm interested to use the new Live 3 and like that, all that, you know, the power sounds very intriguing, but like I don't even reach it for it to matter much with what I'm doing. I would like to see like improved warp and the stems, if that sounds good. And then yeah, so it's hard. It's gonna be hard for me to say no, but I'd love to be able to try it out and be like, okay, I'm good with my Live 2. But there's just some of those things like the I/O, you know. I hope the fact that they're putting XLRs directly on the Live, that means we're gonna get some more maybe vocal plugins. You know, I've been waiting on a de-esser. Even if they didn't make a standalone de-esser, but if I think they did some improvements to the channel strip, so maybe if they're still working on that and they could add a de-esser into the already existing air channel strip, that would be nice. So that's kind of a bonus. I've been using my Live 2 with a USB mic, so I haven't really cared about having XLR and phantom power for a minute because, you know, I've got a solid mic that I like that has its own built-in preamp. You know, that's kind of a workaround. Just get yourself a nice little USB mic. But yeah, man, that USB audio, I've been wanting that for years, and now it's finally here, and they outdid it. Like, it's got features to it that I wouldn't even use. Now, I'm assuming it's got MIDI because it has replaced the USB-B, the larger one, which I feel like the larger one is better because it protects your cords a lot better. Like, it's gonna be really easy to bend USB-C. But I don't know if USB-B allows for those types of transfer, like audio and stuff. But I didn't see it in the leak spec sheet, but I'm assuming just like the Key 37, through that USB, on top of USB audio in and out, and 24 tracks, which is going to be dope for those of you who like to track out to a DAW. Not me, but I appreciate the USB audio in and out so I can sample. So this way I have multiple, in a way I got multiple inputs. I plug my mic in, and then technically you have like 3 inputs. Like if you're a guitar player, then that Live 3 is going to be really nice. Because you can plug a mic in one and go mono, and then plug in a guitar in the other, go mono. And then also if you sample on top of that, USB-C, that's pretty much 3 inputs. What time is it? 61 on the Osmos. Surprised Yamaha hasn't done more with the refaces. Yeah, it would be cool. But I've been saying the same thing about the Roland stuff. Like, I don't know why they don't do like the boutiques. Everything's a synth, man. And so for synth lovers, synthesis sounding type of synth sound lovers, I guess, they're winning when it comes to like those brands, because they can grab some of those refaces and boutiques. But there's nothing like for my kind of mindset where I like acoustic stuff, like a boutique Phantom, you know what I mean, like, or something like that. Oh, there's a Osmos is a 49 key. Do they make 2 versions? All you gotta do is get 2 of the SSL 4000s. I mean, I might maybe get 1. Keep me on my toes besides Bolo the producer, Ace have McCree, Malo Beats, Kirk State, last but Sample Kings. Yeah, I appreciate those guys. Run my mic through the Rodecaster Pro for the de-esser. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'm just using an app on my iPad for my de-esser. I don't really feel like I hear any de-essing happening. I've been wondering lately if it's maybe just ear damage, because I've had like sometimes, not lately I had, but back in the day when I wasn't as cautious making beats in a room with my headphones super loud, I would hear like pops in my ears from like high frequencies. So I wonder if that some of that hearing, I'm like losing some of that range, so I can't really hear what's going on with the de-esser. I don't know. Just saw the vocal sampler one he mentioned would be dope. I hope the reface CP, and you have the reface CP and it's impressive. Wish they had a tad bit cheaper though. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I never caught one because they just don't seem like they really interest me that much, like all the synth stuff. It may be the CP, but I think that one has got like an acoustic piano that's like a secret. I was considering buying me another OG Live like as soon as the Live 3 hits, because I seen them for like 300, and I'm wondering how cheap they're gonna be going for, like when that gets finally announced. It's probably definitely a good time to buy used. Yeah, Osmos is 49. Whoops, I had to count the keys there. How do I hook up USB to MPC? There's a USB input on the back. If you're asking because I mentioned the USB mic, I don't actually use the USB mic through the USB though. I'll plug it in through the USB mic through the headphone output of the mic into the inputs here. If you had two, you had have channels for your music and have best possible sound, man. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, man. I hear what you're saying. How would I route that if I still wanted to do it all standalone? Do those have like a USB audio interface? The SSL 4000. Sharp. Shoot, you want a contest through Sweetwater? I never win those, man. That's cool. Super cool. Did you expect that to happen? Where am I at? all these hats. Too many hats for myself, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm thinking about trying out this hardware compressor by Headrush, and I think that would be cool. So what did I say? I said compressor. I didn't mean compressor. See, I'm thinking I'm pulling up the vocal tuner. Headrush makes like an auto tune that I guess uses is it Antares auto tune? I need some kind of prompt, man. Man, what happened to I guess he's busy. Hawkeye, you still around? I mean, this was Hawkeye's idea. He never put any input or any questions as far as this thing goes, the launch control. You would send audio out MPC left and right and just use the two 4000s. And you got equivalent of the 4000 on your 2-channel output like a master bus. So yeah, but you're talking about like going into a DAW. But if you're looking at it from my perspective, maybe just send everything throughout one of the other assignable outputs and then have it come back in to the inputs and then like record to an audio track and create a master recording that way. If you're me, wouldn't you do it that way? Because I mean, if you're going out your masters, it's got to record to something, and I can't go back into my stereo inputs. If I go on my master, I'm gonna get a feedback loop. That's not gonna be good. Oh, there's an Osmos plugin coming. Okay. I've been wanting to check out that MPC 2000 XL plugin, but I think that thing's an iOS app. But I've got an old. Maybe it's not an iOS app, but even if it was, I got an old iPad. I'm gonna try an Osmos through the P6 after this stream, see what lo-fi goodness happens, if any. Yeah, that thing looks interesting. No, I didn't ever expect to win anything like that. She was. Wait, who won? You or like? You said she was shocked. They have a monthly giveaway on their site, and I enter every month, but so far that was the only thing I've ever won. You're talking about using it full time for your main sound. Well, I get it, but I'm gonna have to make a. You're just talking about going out into the stream. That's nice, right? But I still have to have a place to record it too. See, I was looking at it totally different, like as wanting to use it just for my vocal before it hits the MPC. Well, you know, that sounds cool. That would be nice, but then I would need 3. You know, because that's what I have the most interest is in getting like a better overall vocal take recording. Think you're overthinking the SSL strip. It's just an in and out, really. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I'm not overthinking it. I'm thinking about how if you're suggesting to use it that way, then I would want to print that audio so that I can I could use that. I can upload that track. Yeah, but that's a lot of. I wouldn't. Yeah. I like to have streamlined workflows. So, yeah, I think it would be cool. But if I were to get one, it would be for vocals, and I would just have it set up for vocals at all times. I don't like the pulling cables and all this and switching things around. It's annoying to me. You just use a master bus for final sound. Okay, Chandler, yeah. What do you mean just use a master bus for final sound? Where's the audio going? If you're going out your stereo outputs, where does the audio go? I get that, but the audio has to go somewhere, and I'm not using a DAW. So, anyways, if I was gonna use it that way, I'd probably go out a sub pair. But yeah, I mean, all that would be nice. It'd be nice to have a really clean sounding. Fully USB sound. What do you mean? Like the sound going into the stream right now, or the sound from the mic? Yeah, I don't understand left and right outs, but where is the audio recording to? Like, do you use a DAW, right? So you're probably thinking in terms of that. And while, yeah, I understand that would be cool, it would be good to it would go out into the stream, but buying a piece of gear like that, my first thought wouldn't be so that the stream sound good. It would be so that my songs sound good. Right. They would. But in that manner, I'm not recording my songs to my phone. I guess I could do that, but I'm not looking to find a different workflow of recording my songs into a different app. I want to keep it in the MPC. So in that case, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right. Well, that would be cool if Roland's announcement tomorrow was another update for my 404, but I doubt it. That's mainly the only reason why I clicked notify me. Well, I just loop back in monitor off and record final music that way. Yeah, it could be done that way, huh? But is there a benefit of doing it that way rather than going out the assignable out? Some guy, the main thing I'd like on my MPC is a spectrum analyzer. I'm digging creating on the MPC from start to finish at the moment. That's what's up. Yeah, man. That's where it's at for me too. That and bring clips back. Yeah, well, that's what it looks like they're doing. I don't know if I never used the clip programs, but I think they probably. I don't know if that was similar to the way the force clips work, but I think the force clips are the way they're moving forward, because, like we had mentioned earlier, I had seen that guy's video. He had made a nice little speculation by looking at the top panel of that leaked image that some of those buttons at the top are actually clip launching buttons, possibly. So, and it makes sense since Force has been on that whole MPC software for a long time, and they're they're kind of, it seems like they're gonna merge together. So if you like the clips from the Force, and I think maybe you could be happy with what's possibly coming. Clips was good for drum loops. I'd put a drum loop, then play some keys over it. Yeah, the whole clip thing looks interesting. I wouldn't want it necessarily on an MPC, but it looks, to me, it looks cool in the Force configuration with the 64 pads. Like, I still want to try one of those. I just never got it because it's super bulky and it's not something that I would be able to really care or desire to carry around with me. And that's why I hope they do make a Force 2 and they make like a portable one. Put a battery in it, make it mini, you know, and that would kill push 3 and move for sure. Put a battery in it, make it a bit smaller, somewhere in between the size of a push, because even the push 3 is like kind of had a ridiculous footprint to be portable. Oh, is that a question? Tactical MIDI, are the converters the same? I really don't know. I'm not big on the whole converter topic because my experience is limited to using like the MPC 1000 and using audio interfaces like PreSonus, Audio Box, Behringer, Mackie. I've never used a mic that costs more than like $200, so I'm not really like I'm not the authority on like high quality AD conversion, So like, to me, my MPC Live sounds good, and I've never used a 3000 or a 60. One thing I do know is I've been around long enough. My first MPC was the 1000, and what people are saying today is the same thing they were saying then. They were saying that the 1000 and 2500 sounded thin compared to older machines. And now today, people even want to say that these MPCs sound thin compared to like the 1000. Like back then when the 1000, 2500 were new, they didn't sound good to people. And so now it's the same old thing. To me, it just sounds like the same kind of, like every generation. Like when it comes to music, like music sucks now. I remember back in the day, like it's that kind of thing. I think it's more nostalgia, and it's more the human mind that is never satisfied with what it has. I think this sounds good, but like I said, take that with a grain of salt. I'm not the professional that's been working in studios with $30,000 consoles or whatever. I've used a $30,000 console. Maybe when I was in school, I went to school for music, and they had some Neves in there, and I think I was able to mix one of my tracks. Oh, that shit sounded good too. That'd be cool if I could pull it up. If I could find it, if I can find it, I'll pull it up. And I believe it was mixed on a Neve through Pro Tools, and then everything was mixed. I might have done. I don't know if that was just for the class session where we were able to send it through there. So I don't know if my whoops. I was saying, I don't know if I don't remember. It's been a while. Could have been that I did get a master recording straight out the Neve console, or it could have just been done in the box on Pro Tools. I'm not sure, but I do want to find that track because it was a cool one. Not sure. Might be on a hard drive. The old Clips program was quite restricted. Yeah, I never used them. I looked at it maybe once, but it wasn't something for me. Wasn't it restricted to that it had to be pre-recorded loops? Like it's not the same clips as now you can record MIDI into it. It had to be like audio. Wasn't that what it was? So it's very different, I think. Adding clips with the FlyTape plugin has some live performance possibilities that weren't there before. Are you using the Force? They were trying to entice the Ableton folks with the push. What do you mean? Tactical MIDI. Oh, you were telling me that they're pretty much the same. Okay. Chris Head, what's good? Elias, what's interesting? The converter talk. King O Caesar, what is happening? Thanks for dropping by, man. Silly people being silly. It's a misconception, but it's like this. MPC produces a thin sound on its plugins, etc. But when you put the beef into it, it plays the beef. Okay. So, I mean, what I think what you're really saying is what I was saying the other day. I was having a conversation. I think it was with the King of Caesar, actually, was about that. What people are saying is that the older machines had a certain sound to them, so it had a character. These newer machines are more transparent. So, and then adding to it what you just said, it's going to play back whatever you put into it. So if you have like analog stuff that beefs it up, whatever the source is, it's going to be faithful to recreating it because this is just a transparent sounding conversion, analog to digital conversion. Yeah, beyond that, it's transparent, basic, uncolored sound. Right. See, that's why I never got this. One, because my experience is limited. I haven't used those older machines. That's why I didn't get into this conversation, because I don't really have much to say on it. But the thing that I would say is, like, they give you the assignable outs for a reason. You know, it doesn't have to just be printed. You know, you can run certain sounds out in these assignable outs and then have them come back in through a mixer, and then you can re-record them. You know, so you can build this, have this as your centerpiece, and then start building things around it that will add to the character of your sound if you so desire to. Nostalgia, revisionist history. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. The converter just means the gradient peaks can be recorded louder without distorting, so it thumps harder, that's all. Okay, interesting. Yeah, because you were mentioning how people was talking bad about the MPC 1K and now they doing it to the new ones. Yeah, that's exactly what I remember. And I remember having the 1000 right before getting the live. And when I got the live, I didn't at all think what people are saying now. I actually thought the opposite. I was thinking, wow, my MPC sounds thin compared to my new MPC live. To me, the MPC live knocked a lot louder and harder than my MPC 1000. Just my opinion. The higher the dynamic range, the more transparent. Trader to the living, what is up? Hearing Roger Lynn say he thinks these new MPCs sound good was enough to put that whole debate to bed for me. Yeah, and I was just watching that video the other day. He did say that, didn't he? Stuff like this ain't that deep to me. These things aren't meant to be unique and distinct, so I can't expect them to sound like the old ones. It just matters what you make with it, man. Yeah, that's exactly it. I almost think that's preferable, and that's funny too, because I think this was a point that King of Caesar made with me the other day, is that back in the day, the reason why we have these now that are more transparent is because that was the goal then, that was desired then, and I could be wrong, but it seems like opinions change, and then that becomes nostalgia. So it's more ideal to have something that's clean that you can change, because you can't, if it goes in a certain way, you're not going to be able to take away from that character. And I'm not trying to say anything against those, because I've never used them, and I'm sure they sound cool. I'm into that kind of thing. I'm into lo-fi stuff, Air Flavor Pro, SP for Vinyl Sim and all that. You know, I'm not knocking that at all. But it's more flexible if you have something that's clean, because then you can go with, you can make it what it is, and that's exactly the point of a sampler too. Anyways, you can make it whatever you desire it to sound like by putting certain samples in it and using other gear with it. I love my live too and can't wait for the software to be finished. Yeah, I think we'll be getting that soon. Nostalgia can hold people prisoners sometimes. I agree, that's a good point. SimCity, what's up? Yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna get off here because I got to get the rest of the day going. But I appreciate the idea. This is a potential new series idea. If I get some suggestions, you know, this is bringing tutorials back in the live stream kind of situation. Hardware how-to. So yeah, if you watch through, if you have some ideas, I know you guys already know what's up, but for the overall larger audience, if y'all got some ideas, throw it in the comment section or go over to my post and drop it in the post, and I'll work on some tutorial streams in the future. SimCity, you got a quick question? Go ahead. Well, via analog heat, 2 rack, compressors, and 1 EQ, the sound is incredible compared to basic MPC. Yeah, I don't doubt it, man. And I'm definitely like curious about those things. I haven't made them like first priority. My first priority is just to write the songs and then have like a clean, nice vocal sound. I want to get all that down and master that, and then I'll start thinking about that actual overall mastering. I want to master one thing at a time, I think, maybe. And right now it's like more about the vocal recording and songwriting. But yeah, the last track I put up, man, even just an AI master version that is like offered up on DistroKid made me rethink about investing some more time into my overall mix and master, because mine sounded pretty terrible in comparison. What's the question though? That MIDI mixer controller, can you assign all of them encoders to the MPC effects? That, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of a general question. What do you mean by that? Set all of them. Like, yeah, you could definitely assign these to effects, and then you have a lot to work with, because you don't just have 8. You have 8 times 16, which is, I don't know, what is that, like 128 knobs and sliders? All right, Elias, man, I appreciate you. Thanks for kicking it. Yeah, it just gets overwhelming when I'm trying to do too much. I feel like, you know. Thank you for the info and all you do, brother. Love your music and channel. I really appreciate it, Aaron. Or excuse me, I appreciate it, Aaron. I was gonna say Aaron. I put Aaron and Chandler together. I said Andler or something. My bad. But I appreciate that, man. And I do remember you stopping by some of the songs that I made and leaving a positive word. So I appreciate it. Yeah, man. I think it's probably one of the most like useful things you can add to an MPC setup for sure. Yeah, take a look if you guys are interested. Don't forget to click the link. I don't know, most of y'all are like in the UK and Sounds don't ship over there probably. But yeah, I'm gonna head out. Peace. Appreciate it. Y'all bless everyone. Take care. And I'll see you on the next one, whatever that is. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. Definitely next week. Peace.